Today I'm a kinetic artist. I love the moving sculptures by Alexander Calder. Usually they are of huge proportion, hanging from the ceiling of monumental areas like museums, great halls, etc. But he's also known to make moving sculptures in a fountain, leaning off the side of a podium, just in a museum. So he does some smaller scale sculptures as well. Today, I am going to be Alexander Calder and make a moving sculpture in the style of his mobiles, but mine's going to be of a much, much smaller scale. So what I did first is I took a coat hanger. Maybe you'll recognize some of the features of a coat hanger. And I bent it in order to make this structure, which is going to hold up our mobile. See? I even put a little notch in it so that I can hang this here. And then I created the basic structure of our mobile right here. We're going to be using wire and cardboard for today's project, but it needs something a little more. So it needs a shape on this end to counter the weight of the shape on this end. So I have a shoebox lid that I found in my closet, my trusty X-Acto knife, and in the style of Calder, I'm going to create organic shapes that somewhat resemble water, birds, fish, that kind of thing. Cut into my cardboard and make somewhat of a leaf shape. You could call it a leaf, you could call it a fish, it's very abstract. I'm going to dangle it at an angle. I put a hole into it with my X-Acto knife. And now I'm going to bend my wire, feed the shape through the wire, feed the wire through the shape, and then use my pliers to clamp that wire down and keep the shape in place. Sometimes you can get wire that's a thin enough gauge that you don't need to use pliers at all, but this wire is a little tough for my hands to do it on their own. So, pliers come in handy. Okay, as you'll notice, the weight of this additional shape has countered the weight of the original shape. Let's try to get this to hold it out a little more. There we go. And as you can see, it is a kinetic sculpture because it's moving. If there's the slightest bit of breeze, it'll fall over. Okay, I'm gonna add something else to my sculpture. I bent it too far. It can no longer support the weight.
You can put your X-Acto knife box in the back.
I could. I'm using the weight of the X-Acto knife box to counter the weight of my moving sculpture. Okay, I think I want to create a part that intersects this at a right angle right there. So I'll cut it. I have wire cutters as well as pliers. Actually, my pliers are wire cutters. Just noticed that. Pretty cool. Okay, let me take this little leaf off for a second. Come on there, leaf. Okay, slide this on. Doo-doo. I want it to rest right about there. So I will clamp it. It's handy to have some tools available. If your family has a toolbox, you could look for wire cutters or pliers. I purchased this wire actually at a craft store, like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or Joann's. And like I said, wire comes in different thicknesses called gauges. And the thinner the wire is, the more malleable it is or easily bent. I want to hang, I'm not going to put my leaf back on. I want to hang 2 more shapes onto my moving sculpture. Let me just clamp my leaf fish thing on. All right, 2 more. Wire is tricky, isn't it? It's always exciting working in a new medium. You learn very quickly what works and what doesn't work, and the best way to go about doing what you're trying to accomplish. Ha! There we go, and 1 more. There's too much in front of me right now. Clamp, clamp. Okay. Now I need to add 2 more shapes. And see, this time, this can swing this way, this can swing, all sorts of movement going on. I need 2 more shapes. I'm going to have a small fish. Okay, small fish, and they're always organic shapes, which means not geometric. There's no angles. They can't be easily measured like a square or a triangle. Shapes that you would find in nature. I'm going to create some kind of abstract shape here. As soon as I cut through this, kind of like a swirl or a claw. I'm not really sure what that looks like. Looks pretty cool though. Poke a hole to hang it. 1, 2. How am I going to hang my fish? That's something interesting to think about. I think sideways, so it clearly resembles a fish. It's almost like a fish on a hook. Okay. Fish is connected. Swirl is about to be connected. Okay. Ooh, lots of things on my mobile now. I could even paint these shapes to really liven it up. Let's hang it and see what it does. Ooh, very nice. And look, it can swing freely and rotate as I blow on it.
Can you move it to your right a little bit? There you go. Perfect.
That's pretty neat. I am pretty happy with it. I think my next step would be to paint the wire as well as the shapes. I think I'd like the wire to be a solid color, maybe black, something not metallic, although Alexander Calder would keep it wire colored to keep the integrity of the material. Okay, there we go. Pretty cool.